This morning I entered 5 trades using nothing but trend lines. Now it's been 12 hours and here's the raw unfiltered reality. No hype, just pure results. Let's dive into this. So this morning I walked into 4 trades and I had 1 trade ongoing. The New Zealand US dollar was still ongoing. I had the US dollar CAD, the US dollar Japanese yen, the Australian dollar US dollar, and the British pound US dollar. Now let's go into the market and see what those look like. First, we're going to start with the earliest, the New Zealand US dollar. And over here in the New Zealand US dollar, this was an ongoing trade from last week and it's still in profits to an extent. This is supposed to be a daily trade. Like I said this morning, I denote the trade time frame down here. Now, if I wanted to rush out of this trade, I would need a tighter entry, or rather a tighter view. I would simply come down here, place this line here, and I ought to have left this trade a long time ago if I wanted a suddenly tighter approach to this market. But I don't want that. I just want to keep a daily running. So we're still in profit and we're hoping to capitalize more on this trade. Hoping, like I said, the word there is hoping. Now, back again, adjusting stop loss. How do we adjust stop loss? Well, I simply draw a line up all the way till where it touches. And it's a daily trade, so I don't need to adjust the stop loss. Tomorrow, I may need to adjust the stop loss by some pips. Moving on, the first trade we walked into this morning was the US dollar against the Canadian dollar. Let's head for that. And as you can see, this trade is still running. Forget the light show you see here. It's supposed to be a 1 hour view. And on the 1 hour, this is what is happening. So we did enter because of this break on the time frame, on the higher time frame. I didn't even specify that break much. So let me specify it now. So this was supposed to be my safety line, as you can see. And this was my action line. So what are we seeing here right now? What are we really seeing here? Well, what we are seeing here is that price has kind of respected to a good extent, but nearly devoured me. Now, on the 1 hour, this was supposed to be my safety line, and this was to be my action line. And I did enter a trade regardless of the fact that we had gone far from the action line, which is risky. Entering this trade was not a good idea or that good, but knowing the fact that it's supposed to be a downtrend overall, I decided to go in. And that is a bad idea, trust me. Then I created a tighter safety line, which is this line right here. Now, price is not supposed to close above this line. Though this particular one closed a little bit above. I didn't even know when this happened. I was working, so I didn't pay attention to this. However, meaning my safety line is now much more split. Hence, what it means is, looking at the very last candle before the current candle, my stop loss is supposed to be here at 139,363. So I'm gonna adjust this to 139,36, somewhere close, and just leave it at that. If that trade lasts all night and still continues in profit, then we'll keep our fingers crossed and say, okay, it's good. The next trade we have on the table is the US dollar Japanese yen. We're going to head right there. This is the US dollar Japanese yen, and we have a very similar situation to the US dollar Canadian dollar, with the original stop loss being the original safety line being this line right here, the weekly bearish line, while the action line is this one right here, the 4 hours bullish line. That is and this trade was supposed to be monitored on the 4 hours. Now you can see on the 4 hours, I'm supposed to keep this line here as my watchful line. Well, I'm afraid of the fact that it's too far away, Hence, I just said, oh, let me see what the tighter stop loss will look like. And I've been following a tighter stop loss since, hoping that price doesn't break through this part. But whatever is, you can see right now, it means I'm supposed to, if I am following the tighter stop loss, right, I'm supposed to have my stop loss somewhere around here, which is about 148.76786, and that is not like, that is a really tight stop loss. Well, one thing you should also notice is I'm focused on saving my capital. That is why I tend to run out of trades as soon as it doesn't look profitable anymore for me. Now, the next thing on the table is the Australian dollar against the US dollar. And this trade, I think I've taken it off already. This trade ended up in loss. See right here, this is the Australian dollar, US dollar. Ended up with $600 loss. This is my biggest loss yet. I want to show you guys this portfolio. So if I choose close status is loss, you'd see of all the losses I have made, Australian dollar, US dollar, today's trade is the biggest loss I have made yet. Far huge. $600 loss. Now, what was the trade originally? Obviously, I can remember the trade without even pulling up the original view on my journal. Why? Because it's the same principle over and over again. I entered, obviously, waited for price to break above this point. Probably I must have entered around here or somewhere around here, whichever one. Stop loss below the safety line, as I can see the safety line clearly, and take profits at random. And then price broke the safety line. You can see where I stopped out of this trade. Price had broken my safety line, just like the first one. But if I had been patient, I think if I had been patient, I would be in profit right now. You see, I would have been in this amount of profit right now, but I wasn't patient. I opened the chart in the office, just to take a glimpse, and this was like, I just saw it. So much loss out. Let me just end this. Let me end this suffering immediately. And ending the suffering is not as good as people think, but it's the rule. The rule is to end the suffering when you see the suffering is becoming too much. So I did that. And another thing is this: I can actually come in again into this trade on the 4 hours, because this line is actually now looking more like a 4 hours uptrend. While the 1 hour, I could reduce it back to a 1 hour downtrend, a 4 hour downtrend. But like I said, I like multiple candle information, and this is not like enough candle information for me. However, I could still play with it. How? Well, if I want to play with it, I'm going to have to play with the weekly, not this. It's either I play with the weekly, or I'm going to go down here and say, all right, fine, price broke above this other line, and this is still the safety line. So I could still re-enter this trade, basically aiming for stop loss below the lows and take profits at random. But it's night time. I don't like to enter trades at night. So in my opinion, I'd say this is going to have to wait till tomorrow. The last and not the least trade is the British pound US dollar. And on this trade, I had also made another loss. As you can see here, it is $104 loss. And it's still in the red after all. You see where I stopped out? It went way down, close below. I didn't see this trade when it was down here, but I was on the way home and I just opened the chart and I saw, price had actually broken below. So what's the use keeping this trade, right? And I stepped out of it, Now for tomorrow's trade, obviously I already have a clearly new stance, right? I already have this right here, but this is no longer going to be a 4 hour action point. It is now a 1 hour trend line to me. Now, why am I substituting it for 1 hour trend line? Because I'm going to be looking at it on the 1 hour time frame. Sorry, it's supposed to be 4 hours. It's not supposed to be 1 hour. It's supposed to be 4 hours. It's just a 4 hours trend line. Now, what I'm looking for is the usual. So this has happened and it's been closed. What I'm looking for is the usual, right? The usual. This is enough. Is it enough 4 hours? Let's see. That's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's up to a week since last week Friday till Monday. Not enough data to call it to 4 hours. So I'll call it a 1 hour situation. It's been 2 days of 1 hour. And this is something that I would really love to follow through with. Same price break above or below any of this is something that I really love to have followed through with. But let's just watch and see. It's night time. I can't take any trade. All right, so this is the update of all the trades of today, and this is the final update on the situation. So currently they're all running in profits, but the profit is very small compared to what I have lost. I have lost a total of how much today? How much did I lose? That's roughly $708, roughly $710 today. And altogether, I'm currently running in profit of 400. It's not enough, but I hope to get more. I hope. I'm still going to leave this trade to run all night and hoping to get some profit out of it. So I think I'll be able to see you guys tomorrow. Peace and see you on the next one.